What's up, guys? Today we're taking a look at the brand new Snapshot 12W22A, or more simply just week 22. Now there's a ton of new features and bug fixes, so let's get right into it. Okay, there's a new game mode type called Adventure Mode, which can be enabled in a cheat-enabled world by typing /GameMode2. Now when you're in Adventure Mode, you can't break or place blocks, set fire to anything, or breed animals. Now this is going to be great for adventure map makers who make adventure maps where they don't want people to be able to break anything or cheat in any way, so you just plunk them into game mode 2 and you're all set. So in the last snapshot they changed up the creative menu and made this amazing organized menu. Now they added the survival inventory, but what they didn't add was a crafting menu and an armor slot menu, as well as a destroy item tab, so that's newly added. They've also recently added all the brewable potions. They've now added to the inventory the blocks that silverfish will go into, so stone, cobblestone, and stone brick as a spawnable block. They changed where emerald ore spawns. It's going to be spread out over a bigger height, and it's only going to occur in clusters of 1. New block's been added, the block of emerald. So if you're feeling fancy, you're feeling rich, you can make your emeralds into a block and bling out your house. Newly added are these awesome naturally spawning cobblestone jungle temples. Now these are really cool for a couple of reasons. Inside they're packed with wire traps, triggering dispensers that are filled with arrows, loot chests including bones and rotten flesh, gold, iron, diamonds, and emeralds, so there's some reward in there. But one of the other neat things is that they have the mossy cobblestone, which makes it a little less rare, and it's going to be seen a lot more in building in SMP. So we're going to go and check out what this looks like on the inside. There's one of your tripwires, which I didn't even see, so I was afraid that they were going to be way too easy to break, but I didn't even see it. That's the inside of our chest, more tripwires with traps. They've also added 3 lever puzzles, which you've got to figure out to be able to access a secret compartment. Overall, very cool. Awesome resource for mossy cobble, some good rewards in there, and good amount of traps to keep you on your toes. So newly added to the game is the tripwire and the tripwire hook, which you saw in those temples. Now if you haven't seen them already, when you walk over them, they send a red zone signal. They'll also send one if you break the wire, unless you break the wire with shears. So if you see them, you'll have to have shears on hand and ready to break them unless you want to trigger them. Another neat feature about these is that the height will play a factor when triggering them. So if you have this suspended in the midair, if you walk into it, it will still trigger a signal. Very, very cool. And another neat thing about this is that this can go up to 19 blocks long, as well as the fact that you can now place string on blocks. So designers are going to have a heyday with that. They made it so you can now place half slabs on the upper half of a block to place them down on the top, instead of having to do like before where you had to click underneath the block like so, which is going to be very, very useful for designers and just everybody in general. It's way easier to place blocks that way. So very cool. So enchanting has been redesigned. You only require actually 15 bookshelves to be able to get max level. Max level is no longer 50, it's now 30, and the bottom slot will always show the max level. They've also increased the chances for multiple enchantments. You can now get experience from mining, from smelting, and from mining mob spawners. Villager trading has been changed. They added trades that require 2 or more input items. Example, you could get 3 pieces of flint for 10 blocks of gravel and 1 emerald. They removed a few really easily grindable trades involving rotten flesh or eyes of ender, and villagers can now have more than 3 trades. They've now made mobs more difficult, and also they will attack the last player that hit them again, whereas that was bugging out and wasn't acting that way before. They fixed a whole bunch of bugs, but probably one of the more notable bugs that they fixed was redstone repeaters, in the sense that when you loaded up a new world, a lot of times your clocks and your repeaters would be stuck and now they fixed that, so apparently when you have a clock or anything like that and you load up a new world, that won't be the case anymore. So guys, that's all the new features in the week 22A snapshot. Most of the bugs, you can check out the bug list in the description for all the bugs, because it's a very long list that they fixed, as well as a link to download this snapshot. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a great day.